Youths in Nkpolu community, Obio Akpor local government area of Rivers State have flogged a serving police officer and 2 others for alleged drug abuse. The action followed the youth-led campaign declaring a total ban on drug use in the area. The youth said the crackdown came after routine patrols uncovered a hideout where the suspects, including Officer Joshua Enyong, were found. Enyong, who identified himself with his police ID, reportedly did not contest the accusation. Youth President Onwanda Chamberlain explained that drugs have devastated families in Nkpolu, with young people selling homes and property to sustain their addiction. He declared that no drug user or user will be allowed in the community. Chamberlain stressed that those seeking drugs must leave Nkpolu, warning that the community will no longer tolerate habits that destroy lives. He linked the campaign to mounting losses suffered by families whose children traded inherited assets for narcotics. Police command confirmed the awareness of the incident through a viral video. A spokesperson said the accused officer denied drug use, adding that investigations have commenced into the matter. What are your thoughts on this report? When the supposed person that's supposed to be protecting and advocating for youths not to use this has been accused of being the one using it, even though he is denied that he doesn't use drugs.
I'm trying to look for a word now. This is one of those times words fail you, no matter how much you think you're gifted with words. I mean, you could search all the dictionaries in the world and you won't find the right words to use. I said that to say this. It's possible the guy, at this point, all I want to do is pretend that the guy, that is the police guy, has confessed.
Okay.
You see, I have no quarrel with citizens' arrest. It's usually a global phenomenon. Citizens can arrest somebody committing a crime found in the act. But in a sane society where the rule of law prevails, what the citizens do is arrest such person or persons and hand them over to the appropriate security agencies or any other body which would likely also be a security agency and is saddled with the responsibility of carrying out prosecution, maybe like the NDLA, or the police, as the case usually is. But you see, we agree we have descended low in our system. We have defeated, in most cases, every accepted standard of civilization seems to have been beaten hands down. Now, what these guys should have done, having arrested this guy, even if we have deviated from the norm where citizens arrest and hand over to the security agency, we have deviated to that norm where citizens arrest and take laws into their hands and beat the persons, which is something that shouldn't be accepted, because in that process of mob action, what if you kill that person? You would have been the judge and the executioner. You tried the persons, you found them guilty, and you carry out the execution, which even, in organized society which we live in, it doesn't happen that way. The prosecutor is usually different from the judge, the jury, whatever name you choose to call them, depending on the crime you live in. The justice system found guilty and hand over to the executioner. The three are usually not the same persons. But let's say, like I said, you have deviated from that norm and created our own system. Now, having arrested this person and found out that this particular person claimed to be a police officer, the next question should have been your proof that you're a police officer. And that person proves he's a police officer, maybe with his ID card.
Which he did.
Yeah.
Right.
For the sake of that institution, for the sake of respecting institution, it would have been for them to hand over that person to the police institution rather than flogging him. No, it is not about this person. It is about the institution
they represent.
Absolutely. Right. It's an institution of the state. Especially when you so flog him and you make it known that you flog the police officer. It would have been said, it would have been better you say you arrested some criminals, which included one Joshua and you dealt with them than making it known that, oh, you flogged the police officer. Now, this is not even about what the police itself will do or something that the police will go on mass arrest or those things. That's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in the continuous degradation of our institution. It does us no good. Agreed you have had incidences of police cover up. Agreed there may be that fear that if you hand it over
to the police, they may
cover it up like them. Just like what you're seeing here now. The first story said the man didn't deny being an accomplice. The police said the man denied taking drugs. But these are things that can be investigated. If how was he arrested? And this is why maybe I should even borrow from the Bible that says they that warriors should not get entangled in civilian affairs. Soldiers should not be involved in civilian affairs. If you are a security person, if you represent the state, you operate under the institution of the state, there are certain places you shouldn't be found in, except for official duty. I remember years back listening to our mom. The only reason we find certain police officers, usually plainclothes police officers in beer parlors, was for investigation purposes. Yes. And they come there under guise. Nobody knows that they are police officers. And they are not the ones that get drunk. Rather,
because they are actively working, they are on duty.
Absolutely. So they may even, buy for other people as a bait, maybe to get information or something. So if this guy was in that place for investigative purpose, it will be fine. But
at least the head of his unit would have been aware.
Absolutely, the head of his unit would have. We see all sorts. We see some of them when you move on the road. You see some of them in certain places that you ought not to see them. No, at times, not because some of the places, for example, you see a security person in a bet shop. You see, not because betting is illegal, but a man on duty. In such duty that he would be identified. You can imagine. You don't want to see, and none of the banks would, for example, want to see a staff of their bank that can be identified as such in certain places. Not because it is illegal, but because you don't want to say, oh, we saw the staff of that person there, because you don't want to be dragged into the mud. So I think these are some of the things our institutions and agencies should also do some homework in orientating themselves. Even if you drink, for example, don't drink when you're on uniform. Even if you play bet, all those gamble games that may not be illegal, that may not be a crime for you to do, but please don't do it when you have on uniform or you are at work, when you carry the emblem of the state along with you. But I strongly believe that these guys, having identified that guy as an officer of the law, should have handed him over to superior authorities to, maybe find out from him where he serves. That should have been the starting point. Take him to where he serves. Then if there is fear of a foul play, they don't want to take him to where he serves. In a case where maybe his unit is different from there, there is a nearby police station within there. There is a police station that covers that jurisdiction. They can even take him to that police station. They are at Nkpolu. Nkpolu is Rumigbo. I'm sure there is a police station that covers Rumigbo. There is the Rumokoro police station there. They would have taken him there. So we had to take him to wouldn't have been a problem. But it would have been better for us, for our institutions, to do that than to come out and tell us you have flogged a police officer. And this is not to say one is holding brief for the guy for committing such a crime. No, but I'm just looking at the institution of the state. And I would want, since the deed has been done, I would want the authorities to set a standard, to sound it clear to their men that there are certain places you shouldn't be seen. And for this guy, a thorough investigation should be done. They shouldn't take it from him that, he said he was not there. If he was not there, if he was not taking drugs, what was he doing there? So it should be properly investigated, and if he is guilty, he should be severely dealt with, if not dismissed, because there are certain things a police officer shouldn't do. You can imagine if he's guilty as charged. You can imagine what he would do if people, this is a guy that carries gun. If he comes under the influence of such drugs, what would be the fate of those he's supposed to secure?
Sadly, so I hope a thorough investigation is carried out on that one. And thank you so much for your insight on that.